Hello, I am Joshua, and welcome to my second ASMR video. In the last one, I read excerpts from my book, A Singer, a Sayer, a Jaw Harp Player, which I'm going to continue today. Pick up where I left off in the last one. But first I want you to relax your shoulders, relax your jaw, and relax your tongue. This first entry was from May 5th, 2002. I washed my truck today. An old man from down the street came walking by, cane in hand, and said, "It'll just get dirty again." The eastern sky was starting to get a little lighter, and I pleasured myself with the thought of sitting outside in the damp morning to watch the sunrise. I've always wanted to watch the sunrise, but never had. I'm too restless, I think. But I was feeling special this morning. My dog and I stepped outside to watch the sun reveal itself. It was magnificent. It was the color of my favorite dreams. An endless satisfaction of blue, and there were hints of purple divinely placed all above me. In the hours before, it had rained profusely, and this whole corner of the universe was drenched. I watched as great formations of clouds rolled by, so swift and without sound, so rapid and yet so subtle, and in the millions, I'm sure, the crickets cricketed all around me, and I felt absolutely wonderful. I felt in tune. Ankit. Never can I forget. Tonight we walked on the moon. Come closer if you want to hear me correctly. He is going home, suffering from depression, and his family is worried, concerned. How do I tell this story to others who weren't with us? Have you ever drank from a girl's mouth before? I thought, what an incredible concept. I learned about an action in a whole other league of desire. He offers an adventure into feeling my body function, to know that I am alive, and that something larger is going on. Your interpretation of it amplified. I hope I am not being humored here, because I've got a good story to tell. I have faults to tend to. I am experiencing a memory. Man, that night was grayish blue to the eyes, and the frozen stares of those sheep interrupted the stability of my spinal column. I thought God was against me. I got the feeling that my place was far from there. My gut proclaimed that I was selecting the most terrifying tree to bark up. But I overcame and felt secure in my present situation. I felt that I was inside my destination and exploring the boundaries I might want to place on myself. Getting by, as you might know it. And fear danced through my body like a waltz through And fear danced through my body like a waltz through broken glass. And the future expected me to keep my cool, to not wish to evaporate in the face of danger. Dig, I must be religious. I tend to groove on the notion that it's hard to fathom why I haven't collapsed from life. Things are at work, man. Things are at work. It never felt so good to be rained on. Oh man, and I'm only scratching at the surface. Holy Mother of all Jesus, I've hit something. It's not just happening to me, brother, it's happening to all of us. We're not only amplifying, we've got God dancing through our veins. You caught me at a good time. I was setting my fears on fire and thrusting them into the sky with my body like it was all a game. I was alive and playing baseball. My brother used to come and sit on the tailgate of his blue and rust magnificent orange decorated transportation. He really loved me, and I drank it all so easily, never realizing that someone was feeding my spirit with every ounce of their wishes. Phew. God was diabetic and had a rough shave that day. He got thrown out of the bleachers for believing in me through the sounds exploding from his chest. I died when I saw that brother of mine drive off in his truck. He loved that creation, poor as it may have seemed. Instructed not to slam the door too hard, although one really had no choice. It made sense to shut it aggressively. Oh, but he would take me anywhere. Would make my parents worry sick just to satisfy my adorable desires. He gave me $1 on his deathbed so I could enjoy a pack of M&Ms. He knew I loved him. That's why I needed to tell you all this. June 3rd, 2003. Route 66. Second day on the route. Oh my lord, the route. Econo Lodge, Shamrock, Texas, here in telling my story. You should have seen this restroom in some terrible little gas station in Oklahoma. There was a mirror behind the toilet. There are no words except, "It looks good on you." I laughed till my stomach hurt. Williams, Arizona is a cute, sweet, fantastic little place along 66 that I would recommend to anyone doing what I am doing. I would also pity but admire such a person. And I wish that all mankind could have seen the moon that Kyle and I saw above Arizona. As we crossed the state line into California, it grew golden and dipped beyond our visual grasp. I heard a distant train whistle before I said goodnight, and I knew I was happy. Today we encountered the Pacific. We threw rocks and got our feet wet. People excited about Jesus came and talked to us. I am sunburnt, yes sir. Facial expressions hurt, smiles bring pain. I'm only happy being indifferent as far as visual reactions go. Earlier, here in Oceanside, California, crime was escalating in the parking lot below our room. A little pimping, a little dealing, and to think just a mile from here people are safe, warm and crazy good, fantastic in the hold of the gospel. Today I worked hard and took my break beneath a tree in its shade, and I watched an ant run up a blade of grass, and then it jumped to another and scaled down it. I don't have much to say about it, just one creature fascinated by another. I fell off the roof half a day ago, and I'm still laughing. It was a crazy blue dawn, and Lindsay and I lay down in a driveway, and it rained fantastic all over us. There are so many levels I don't even know where to begin, so we'll have to rely on the pictures I took. Oh man, this is getting deep. It came on soft, and when I failed to construct faith, it tackled me. So now it is time I climb a mountain to drink its view and scatter myself to an infinite smaller than small. No size to me at all. I'll be the air we breathed. I'll be in your movie. I will pack your brain luggage and we will travel back to ourselves. Closer than close. And hopefully we will stop tripping over our jaws and start exercising our interpretation. It was a good night. We went parading through the streets at dark underneath all those orange lights. I had to shed my polyester. There was too much of me sweating. We jumped off the porches of strangers, I lay and swayed in someone's hammock while everyone held their hands over their mouths to bottle the hysteria. They said, "No, Josh, no." Early morning on Earth, when the orange-yellow rays of sunlight begin to pour across the horizon, is the most beautiful and majestic spectacle in all the universe, as far as I can tell. Labor Day, but they made many people labor all day, and all the while the sun was up it rained. It washed away every smile that the town wore, except for those who, behind their faces, kept in mind the unparalleled importance of what was falling and how beautiful it all was, that the cloud above countless shaking fists was sculpting into a million crystals a compound that keeps fresh everything we need to survive. I jumped with arms up into the wind and rejoiced. This was a good day to be alive. And the night was painted with every particle of effervescent wonder that did its promenade through my body. My first class had ended, and I stepped into the hallway. There was this smell of warm American food and air conditioning, and I had experienced the aroma before, eons ago in preschool when I was so little and so scared of everything. My pace through the place slowed to a crawl, and I realized how cold and uncomfortable I have felt in nearly every situation that surrounded me. Festivals of fright held in my tummy, with crippling might so foul and crummy. The boogeyman and butterflies will do their dance until I die. I found myself reflecting in a mirror and without any restraint being put on looking directly in the eyes everything that might unfold. And I saw a man who was turning the corner with blinding lights, and I knew of his dirty plans and of his filthy tricks. He's coming to bury me, to assassinate the possibilities, and I saw the most intoxicated man the body has ever allowed. And then shit started falling from the trees. I thought of gravity. I knew that soon I would be abandoning my angle and come down from this high. A man in a blue shirt was hanging his head clear out of the car window and expelling what his body strongly opposed and was gravely upset over. Sometimes you have to do that. I knew the ground and him were waiting for me. I want to free that man. Put me on his stereo. I'll hold a concert in space and rain through the atmosphere and wet the lips of all who thirst. Blessed be it beyond all ends. Before I understood what anyone was saying, my reliance was with encyclopedias and the photographs of dinosaurs, marine life, and the rest of a world so far away. My mother would tuck me away in sleep, but I was never able to restrain myself from leaving my bed to be planted in front of the bookcase and with silent jubilation cure my hungry eyes over the most beautifully pleasing images that I held in my heart to provide the most satisfying route to explore the world. Everybody stop whining. We're only alive for 5 minutes. Tonight, life was gorgeous. Tonight, life was a gorgeous, gorgeous event. When my vocabulary gets thicker and is born the possibility of telling my story about the blissful today with at least a thin level of justice, I will lay it all over you. Elevate your taste in going and telling it on the mountain. I watched an ant climb up 7 tiles on the bathroom wall and lose its grip and plummet back to the bottom of the first tile. He or she or it, the ant, immediately began its trip up the tiles. To translate the size of its undertaking into our frame of reference, and please have faith in the math, for I do, would be to say from the 7th tile that he fell 2,100 feet, as far as I could gather. The ant was not discouraged in the least bit. Over and over this poor thing fell, and I could not succeed in trying to help. It didn't trust me enough to plant itself on my finger. I would have taken it to the top, but it went right on a climbing.